Guess what? Old Lou ran for days but sold no medicine. Nobody trusted him. When lost, he suddenly thought of someone. So he drove Cheng Yon to a bar, mentioning, "I bought a used supercar on Gwazi for just over 90. Not bad, huh? It's so cheap, new cars envy it and drives like new. New cars depreciate fast, so Gwazi's a great deal. Test drive for 3 days, buy a few of it. Sell cars at Gwazi's nationwide auction. Buying used on Gwazi. Perfect choice." They squeezed through the crowded venue, only to find the person they were looking for dancing on stage. Old Lou thought, "Is this guy even sick?" Actually, his daughter, Si Huey, is part of the local support group, and they trust Old Lou. Times Earl, Old Lou got some patients to join Cheng Yon's group, but they flipped at the 5,000 yuan per bottle price. They complained it was too expensive, but Si Huey quickly explained, "We're all friends here. You know, no one's a bargaining expert." Suddenly, the atmosphere turned awkward. Suddenly, Old Lou took off his mask. Others did the same. Cheng Yong softened at their pain, offering a 20 discount. With help from a dozen groups, Cheng Yong stuck flew off the shelves. To improve communication, they called in the English-speaking Pastor Lou. Pastor Lou also had hefty leukemia, but his devout faith meant he wouldn't touch illegal stuff with a 10-foot pole. But isn't saving lives worth a little low bending? Isn't that what God said? If you don't go to hell, just go with it. Meanwhile, Buddha was totally bewildered and thought, "Can you please shut up?" With some smooth talking from Cheng Yong and Old Lou, Pastor Lou finally agreed to be their translator. With Pastor Li's help, Cheng Yong swiftly secured the rights to sell in China. Suppliers and sales channels were finally open. One day, while Old Lou was selling meds from his car, a little punk snatched 3 bottles clean from his bag. Cheng Yon found his place. The punk fled on sight, but couldn't outrun 4 wheels. Cheng Yon quickly tackled the punk, and found the stolen meds at his place. Turns out, he wasn't just in it for himself. He shared all the meds with other patients. Now that's what I call loyalty. Cheng Yon decided to recruit him for the team. Thus, the Med Squad was born. Thanks to their awesome effects and low price, more and more people flocked to Cheng Yong for their meds. Cheng Yong raked in profits, paid off all debts, and even scraped together his dad's medical fees. To show his gratitude, Cheng Yong handed out red envelopes and took everyone to the bar for a celebration. Just as the party was at its peak, the manager rushed in asking Si Huey to hit the dance floor. To keep her job, Si Huey had no choice but to comply. But Cheng Yong? He threw a wad of cash at the manager. The manager quickly hopped up, leaving Si Huey in shock. Cheng Yong couldn't help but feel gleeful at the spectacle. But Cheng Yong wasn't just a nice guy. After the party, he insisted on driving Si Huey home despite her protests. Si Huey reluctantly let him in, telling him to wait while she took a shower. Meanwhile, Cheng Yong got a bit too excited and started taking off his clothes, only for a little girl to suddenly appear. The girl stared at him with the intensity of 1,000 suns, making Cheng Yong awkwardly cover up with a blanket. After the girl went to bed, Cheng Yong saw the wall of pictures and realized how hard it was for Si Huey as a single mom raising a sick daughter. Waves of guilt hit him, and he quickly left Si Huey's home. Meanwhile, as India's Glyvac became increasingly popular, the original Glyvac company finally took notice. The director took this case very seriously, sending the best detectives to investigate. Guess who? Cheng Yong's old boss, Bin. Selling fake meds. That's become my duty. Meanwhile, a patient's family reached out to Cheng Yong. They reported issues claiming the medication caused severe nausea. After questioning, it turned out the woman's mom bought meds from somewhere else too. They followed the leads to a warehouse, where a sneaky dealer was pretending to be an expert selling German medicine. Family members of these patients saw him and were completely at a loss. But little did they know, this German medicine didn't even exist. Subtitles. Cheng Yong originally planned to secretly call the cops to catch these counterfeit drug dealers. Little did he know, Pastor Lou jumped on stage and called out these frauds. Seeing the pastor getting bullied, the punk and see Huey jumped right in to help. Cheng Yong, wanting to avoid conflict, reluctantly decided to step in too. By the time the police arrived, those fake medicine dealers had already vanished away. Cheng Yong suddenly asked, "Got some serious mental knots?" Such strict punishment triggered Cheng Yong's inner wavering. To thank Cheng Yong for his help, old Lu cordially invited him over for dinner. Old Lu had considered ending it all to spare his family from trouble. But when his child was born, he had a change of heart. All he wanted was to hear his child say, "Dad." Thus wife prepared a feast, raising a heartfelt toast to Cheng Yong. Because of Cheng Yong's impact, hope was rekindled in their family. It hit Cheng Yong hard that he'd become the beacon of hope. Meanwhile, as Calvin dug deeper, he realized India's Glyvac might not be the monster everyone claimed it was. In fact, it was an effective drug, just like the original. But the director insisted since it wasn't in the medical registry, it was still fake according to the law. Calvin had not much choice but to continue investigating, and that evening, an unexpected guest landed at Cheng Yong's place. It was none other than that fake medicine peddler, Cheng Lin, trying to buy the rights for a whopping $2 million. If Cheng Yong didn't agree, he threatened to report him to the police. Cheng Yong bluntly told Cheng to get lost. But lo and behold, the next morning, the police showed up. Thankfully, he cleverly hid the meds in a trash can, evading capture. But Cheng Yong knew this was just a warning. If he didn't give in, he'd eventually be caught. After some serious soul-searching, he finally decided to accept Cheng's terms. That evening, he treated everyone to a hot pot meal. Halfway through, he revealed had sold the rights to Cheng and that the meds would be raised to tank, but they could still get their meds for $3. The smiles on everyone's faces instantly froze. No one understood why Cheng Yong did this, and the punk yelled, "You're pushing the patients into the fire. Can I even afford it myself? It's my fault. Am I a magical seller who can manage everyone? I'm simply being well-intentioned here. Everyone really ought to thank me today."